Hello, and welcome everyone to the last reading of 2021. I invite you to take some nice deep breaths, pull your energy into the present moment, release anything that has been taking your attention, and just be here now. See a tree root coming out of the base of your spine, grounding you deep into Mother Earth, becoming a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can effortlessly pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for new growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here to do a reading for our collective highest and greatest benefit. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that is most needed right now, and to provide that in a manner that will be easily and effortlessly heard, understood, and integrated for the highest and greatest benefit of everyone who is listening now and in the future. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those who are attending to this reading today. And I ask that we have clarity and wisdom between us, that we see clearly, that we understand well, and that we are able to implement this understanding in powerful ways in our lives. I'd also like to invite the four archangels to come and hold the four directions around us, creating a sacred container of light, of love, of wisdom, of beauty, of power, of enlightenment, of healing, of transformation, indeed of anything that is in our collective heart and mind and will at this time. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies is welcome to go now. Okay, let's see what this last reading, we're reading actually on the week ahead, so let's see what this reading has to tell us about the coming first week of the new year. January 1st to January 8th. Okay, here we go. I hope you've all been enjoying your holidays, and I wish you all a beautiful and happy new year. Okay, let's see what the cards have to tell us today. We're starting with the recent past. We have the card of defeat, and we are familiar with this one. This has been with us these few months, these past year, as we've been going through this pandemic. It's just this feeling of overwhelm, of being done, of being saturated, of just wanting things to be finished. That's the energy of this card. You see the incoming, the 5 wands coming towards the figure. But I also want to point your attention to the fact that this figure is not crumpled in a heap on the ground, which the idea of defeat to me would seem to imply just that being completely beaten. But that's not the case. The person is standing on a rose, and roses are symbolic of passion. They're symbolic of love. They're symbolic of highest frequency and vibration in spirituality. So this person is standing on a rose, on that energy, those qualities of love, of light. And these two are sort of rose-like in their qualities. Understanding that all adversity that we face is for our greatest good. It's a gift of love. It's an act of love. It doesn't seem like it, but ultimately it takes us to a better place if we are open and if we allow ourselves to open our minds, open our hearts, and in the contrast of the intensity of the experience, look around for our preference. So this card is reminding us that no matter how difficult things have been this year, we are still here, we are resilient, and even though we may feel a little thin, we have what it takes to keep going. And I would also say that this is a reminder to take care of ourselves. If you need to rest, rest. If you need to take a break, take a break. It's okay. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for support. And it's okay to do what you need to do, even if that means unplugging from the world for a little while. This is the perfect time of year to be doing this. Usually we have the whole holiday season that makes people run from place to place, and people work really hard so that they have their time off, and then they're really busy over their holidays and they start work again and they're not really rested or renewed. And this year, because of this lockdown, we have an opportunity to rest. We have an opportunity to be quiet. We have an opportunity to go inward and to renew ourselves in the face of all this energy that we've put out this year. And it's really important to be discerning about where that energy has been going, and is it serving you? Really, where is it best to be putting your life force? Present card. Another excellent card, success. And it is New Year's Eve. So New Year's Day, this quality of celebrating with others, this quality of being together and celebrating the good together. And even though we can't do it in person, in the physical, we can do it collectively with our hearts and our minds and our will. We can gather with others over technology or even just with intention, adding our light and our love to the collective, celebrating the beauty of our world, celebrating the beauty of our lives, celebrating the good that's part of it, and bringing that energy. I mean, what do you want to bring into your life in 2021? What do you want it to look like? Really important for us to take the time to visualize this. What are the pieces that are important to you? Love is certainly very important. Community is very important. Family is important. And congruent relationship with ourself, being authentic with ourselves, knowing who we are and what we value and what's important to us is important. So these are good things to ponder at the beginning of this year. What do you want this year to look like, not only for yourself, but in your relationship with your community and with others? What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to look, the world to be moving towards? What would you like to see on a global scale? How would you like things to be going? So this idea of success, celebrating the good, celebrating what is, recognizing what is, and because from that awareness, we can generate more of that and pull more of like energy into our field from that place of recognition and celebration. The near future, justice. So we have this card of karma. This is the middle card of the major arcana. This is about stepping forward and catching the bounce, as it were. This is not about passively just doing what life tells us. This is about really stepping into engaging with life, with our future, with our relatedness to experience. So we don't just have to sort of lie back and take what life throws at us. We can stand forward, step up, and take our will and our intention and direct our lives in the directions that we want it to go. So this is the energy of the near future. This is about taking, making choices, making distinctions about your life and moving forward powerfully towards that. It's very important that we realize that we are the ones creating our lives through our choices, through where we're giving our attention, through where we're putting our energy. All of this is building our future. So if you're giving your energy to things that don't nourish you or fulfill you or bring you to joy and enthusiasm, I think it's important that you pay attention to that and recognize that it's probably not adding to your greater happiness or greater joy. And so be deliberate in your choices, recognizing that there is a perfection. The name of the card is justice. And as you reap, so shall you sow. So be wise about where you're putting your energy and your life force, and step forward into your own life and make your life happen in the way that you want it to. And the foundation of the reading is the Prince of Swords. So princes gallop in and gallop out. They're like knights in other decks. There's this fairly strong energy of movement, of stirring things up. And swords are ideas and action. And so as we're going into 2021, there's going to be a lot of shifting and changing on the level of the mind, on the level of ideas, on the level of taking action about those ideas. We're going to be seeing a lot of change this year. Let's just face it. That's just what's in the stars. It's what keeps coming up in the cards. We've seen a lot of change in this past year, certainly a lot of intensity this past year, but with these new distinctions and these new awarenesses, there'll be an opportunity for movement and change and transformation. So that's what this card is showing us, is the reading is about this. It's about this change. It's about this transformation. It's about this fast forward movement on the realm of the intellect, of the mind, of ideas, of beliefs, that kind of stuff. So look out for that. Look out for these changing energies on the level of the mind. Okay, how we need to conduct ourselves is the next card. Inspiration, initiation. Ace of Wands. First card of the suit of fire of Wands. Creativity, inspiration, and passion. This is powerful new beginnings on that level. Powerful acorns of possibility that will grow into oak trees. So this is sitting in the position of how we need to conduct ourselves. This is really about applying our creativity, our creative imagination, our passions to visioning our life for the next while, to really giving it substance through our creative expression. That could be writing, vision boarding. It's a really good thing to be doing at this time of year. For so many of us, this is the start of the new year. It's an opportunity for us to externalize onto something concrete and visible what we want in our life for this year. So you can, a vision board, for instance, is just a really big piece. It can be a small piece of paper, I suppose, but it's nice to work on a nice big piece of Bristol board or something, and putting on it words, images, quotes that inspire you, anything that is inspiring and is evocative or reminds you of what it is that you want to create in your experience for the coming year. And you put this someplace. It can be private. It doesn't have to be in the center of your living room, but it's something that you spend time with every day, that you look at every day, and that it reminds you of what you're holding for yourself for a period of time. And so it's a wonderful time of year to be doing this for the coming year, for 2021. What do you want that to look like? Who do you want to be in 2021? As we talked about up here, what do those relationships look like? What are you going to create for yourself? How are you going to engage with life so that your life experience is more in alignment with what your heart is asking you? But of course, you can't know that until you spend time defining what that is. And that's why this card is really, really helpful, and why the suggestion of a vision board or a list, if you're somebody who prefers to just write. But it's a great idea to use color, to cut pictures out of magazines, glue them on your vision board, things that represent all the good that you're holding for yourself. And it's important to remember when you do something like this, because it is magic. You're working magic when you do a vision board, to always do it from the perspective of what is wanted rather than what is not wanted. The what is not wanted provides the contrast, and that contrast provides the awareness of what is preferred, but always go in the direction of what is preferred. And so on your vision board, you want to have what is preferred, what it is that you are wanting, what it is that you're going to pull into your experience, rather than, as I said, focusing on the not and the don't want, that kind of thing. Always on what you do want. So I encourage you, as I said, this is in the position of how we need to conduct ourselves, to really give yourself the gift in this next week of creating a vision for yourself for your year ahead. Intention is so powerful. We've talked about this before in the readings. The idea of collecting your energy, pulling yourself into your now, and directing your life force very particularly. And in this case, you would be particularly directing it into visioning your year, your coming year, what you want to generate for yourself, how you want that to go. What's it going to feel like? What's it going to smell like? What's it going to taste like? How are you going to feel this year? Really, when you engage your senses, it's even more powerful as a magical act. Okay, so everybody's going to do their vision board, right? And as I said, the reason why a vision board is so powerful is because you're taking it out of your head, out of your inner space, and you're externalizing it so that you have an external reminder of what you're wanting to create and generate in your field. How others are going to be is the next card. More of that sword energy. So swords are really for cutting through the nonsense. They cut through the garbage. They cut through the BS, as it were. Here we have the Queen of Swords. She and the King represent the maturation of the suit, which means they really understand the realm of the mind, the realm of logic, the realm of practical, reasonable. This isn't a very emotional person. This is somebody who really cuts through the nonsense and cuts through the garbage. And there's a clarity and a wisdom and a perspicacity that comes with an individual like this. So this is sitting in the position of others. What we can expect from others is sort of this very practical qualities, but from a feminine place. So it's tempered with intuition. It's tempered with nurturing and care for others and understanding of community and those values. But it's definitely about being very looking at the facts. That's really what swords are often about, is this idea of the mind. What are the facts? Discovering what those are. And when we know what those are, we're better able to make decisions and to cut through the nonsense and the noise and the garbage of our lives. So what we can expect from others is this energy. And because we are the others in other people's experience, maybe we're being called upon to gently and kindly and in a nurturing fashion help others to cut through the garbage and the noise in their own field and their own experience. So again, always with kindness, always with compassion, understanding that we are all the same. We all go through these exact same things, but that sometimes we have a bit of objectivity in another person's experience. So if you're so privileged as to be a confidant or a space holder in somebody else's experience, maybe this is the opportunity to be this for somebody else. And perhaps you're needing this in your own experience. And if you do, pull it forward into your field. Ask for that help. Talk to the people you know who think clearly about things. There's a discernment that comes with this card. And that's what's sitting in the position of others, this energy of discernment. And perhaps what we're going to be seeing on the planet is more wisdom and clarity and discernment as it comes with regards to the situation that we find ourselves in. More discernment and practicality and logic when it comes to looking at solutions and how we'll implement those solutions to solving the crises that we are facing and that we will probably continue to face for a while because of the economic impacts of this pandemic. So again, that very practical, rational energy and, this idea of change on that level too. And that will probably come as a result of this clear thinking and this clear-mindedness, clear seeing. The outcome, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So we have the two queens in our reading today. And the Queen of Pentacles, again, she is the maturation of the suit of Pentacles, which is the earth element, which has to do with material things, which has to do with money. It has to do with, again, the stuff of life, very practical. Earth signs tend to be very practical, very grounded. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn are earth signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius are air signs. So this next little while will be this energy or the outcome for the coming week is this, practical, getting things done. So once you have the vision in place, once you know what you want and you have your vision in place, it's much easier to take action. It's much easier to start to move forward on the material level because you have your template. You've laid out the template. And that's very much what karma is about. Karma is about setting down the track along which your train is going to run. So again, the power of intention, the power of visualizing, the power of creative imagination, and leveraging all of these tools to create the path, the vision, the track along which you want to run your life. And this is about practical implementation of that. This is about taking it into the third dimension and making it real. So we'll see that come playing out in the next week, this idea of taking our vision, using the information, using the disappointment and the struggles of the past to inform our present. What is it that we want to celebrate now and into our future? What do we want to take into our future? What were the successes of this year? And letting that inform the track that we're laying down for the coming year. Understanding that the energy is going to be moving very quickly. So if we do a good job of this, our resources, so to speak, will be freed up. We won't be trying to hold on to this, and our brain will have an external template that reminds us of what's important and valuable to us as we move ahead. It's kind of like your mission statement for the year, if you want to call it that, if that helps anybody with that kind of language. And then the sort of practical awareness, pulling together the information, the facts, and having help from others and doing that and being that for others. And then this implementation, this taking it into the world and actually starting on the path, taking action on something a little bit every day. It doesn't have to be dramatic, doesn't have to light up the world, but this idea of just gently and slowly moving your life forward in a good way. Okay, so I think that's it for this reading for today. And of course, we'll pull the card to grow on for the first week of the new year. Yeah, that feels good. Vision board, look it up. There's lots of information online. But, I encourage you to have fun with it. Use colored markers and crayons and pencil crayons and, pictures that represent what you love, what you want, what evoke memory to you of what it is that you're pulling into your field. And then again, put it up someplace where you can see it. I have a friend who does a vision book, and she has different sections of the notebook, different, you open the page flat, and that'll be one section for career, and then another page will be, personal, parenting, the different aspects of her life. She has, each notebook opening has a different representation. So that may be another more portable or less obtrusive way of doing it. My experience with doing vision boards is I've just sort of slapped it all onto one board. Not very organized, perhaps, but it helps me to get it all out there. And again, recognizing that you're making magic when you do this. You're focusing your attention, your will, and your energy, your creative imagination. You're pulling all of those things together, and that's the act of magic. And so, it's a great time of year to do some magic. Certainly around creating what is going to be magnificent for you in 2021. Okay, so with all that chit chat on, let's now talk about what the card is going to be, the card of the week. What is our card to grow on for the coming week? What do we need to know about our launch into 2021? So let's pull one for the week, and let's just pull one for the year. So this is for the week ahead, card to grow on this week. And what's our card to grow on for the year? Okay, so the card to grow on for the week ahead, this idea of protection. So we have understanding the building of the legacy. I think we had this one recently, didn't we? So this idea that, what we're doing in our lives is going to impact future generations. So how are we being about it? What are we doing about it? And maybe this needs to be part of the execution of your vision board. Maybe this is a piece that needs to be part of that. On the material realm, we are co-creating something here, and it's going to impact future generations. So how do we be conscious of this and mindful of this as we vision our future? So this is our card to grow on for the coming week, this idea of visioning not only our own experience, but our understanding of what we're contributing to the collective. What do we want to contribute? What is it that we, in our skill set and our talent pool, what do we have to offer the world that will add to this greater future for those who are born and yet to come? And then our card to grow on for the year ahead. Haha, balance. Good advice. See how balanced you can remain. Yeah. Okay. So this energy of neutrality, this energy of finding your center, and we've talked about that a lot this year, and how meditation is such a great way of doing that, or going for a walk out in nature, or a movement, the peace that comes after doing strenuous exercise or some good cardio, or a round of yoga or Tai Chi or Qigong. That centered space, that's what we want to really anchor into our field and have present to us and easily and readily available to us for the coming year. So as we go forth into 2021, you're being called, we are all being called to hold this more balanced, neutral energy. And because this is a sword, this is also, again, swords are so definite. They're so much about cutting through the nonsense and the garbage. And we are so much better equipped to do that when we are peaceful and centered and grounded. So our card to grow on for this coming year is this idea of being centered and grounded and balanced, and thus better able to be wise and discerning in every moment, to cut through the nonsense, and to be of service more magnificently in our own experience and the experience of our communities, and maybe even on the global stage. I mean, you know, we're all here for a reason. We all have different roles to play. But for some of you, it's going to mean holding a bigger space in the world and holding a bigger space where others may be looking to you for your balance, for your groundedness, for your neutrality and your wisdom and your discernment that comes from that balanced space. The more of us that can hold this frequency on the planet, the better at this time. Definitely, for sure. All right. So the coming week, thinking about legacy, thinking about future generations, thinking about how we're contributing to that. What is our gift to life? What is it that we are going to be contributing? And making that part of our vision for 2021. But this is definitely for the week ahead, adding this to this week of new beginnings. And then for the year ahead, this energy of balance. And maybe that becomes a word that you put on your vision board, maybe at the very top, this idea of balance. How do I stay centered and balanced? And how am I going to cultivate that in my field so that I am more resilient, more grounded, more of a center of distinction and wisdom and discernment for myself, for my family, for my community, where I have the clarity and the groundedness to be of greater service to others. So there we have it, my dears. Energy for the first week coming up of the new year and for the year ahead. Creator, thank you for this opportunity to be of service. I ask for blessings on us. I thank you for this year 2020, that was so challenging and so provocative. That really has taken us to new places, both physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, where we've been challenged, where we've learned more about ourselves, where we've discovered more what we want. We're clear about what we value. We're clear about what we prefer. And we're learning more about ourselves all the time and becoming more than we were as a result of all this intense contrast. I just ask for all of us that you be with us in this coming year, that you bless us as we step into this new year, this new possibility space. Help us to vision our space in this, our balanced role in 2021, all the good that we will be part of, all the good that we will hold, the vision collectively that we hold as a group that starts with our own heart-centered holding of something beautiful within ourselves and our contribution to life generally. Help us to stay balanced, to stay centered, to stay focused on the good in our own lives and in the greater world, and give that life and energy and intention with our focus and our love and our will and our resources. I ask that all those who are leading us at this time be blessed with wisdom, with discernment, with balance, and with the capacity to cut through the nonsense so that they are making clear decisions that are supportive of the life, not only ours, but of all life on this planet at this time. I ask that there be a great awakening about how we can powerfully help and transform our planet for the better, healing it, body, mind, spirit, soul, each of us, all of us, and this beautiful, beautiful home. I am so grateful for all the love and support, all those and the unseen who hold us in a good way, who are walking with us and supporting us and reminding us of our many blessings. I am so grateful to all those who are helping us to rise to being a greater version of ourselves, a greater version of humanity on this planet at this time. I'm looking forward to the greater good, all the good that we will be generating this year. And I wish each and every one of you much love, much light, much balance, much radiant health, much prosperity, much wisdom and discernment for the coming year. I love you. Be well. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Happy New Year, everybody.